Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on December the 4th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up on Friday, the biggest thing here will be non-farm payroll numbers. These tend to be market moving, so please be mindful if you're trading the US dollar. So generally, these numbers can change the direction of the market. So watch out for that. Expect a lot of volatility during this time. We also have Canadian numbers coming out. Now, these will have an impact on Canadian dollar if we see that the employment numbers drop here below this number that's expected. That will be negative for the Canadian dollar. But if you're trading dollar CAD, both of these news items are coming out at the same time. So there can be some additional volatility as a result of that. Other than that, overall, we are seeing in the U.S. the fiscal stimulus package. They're getting close. There seems to be more support around passing the stimulus package. So that is overall a positive. In terms of the coronavirus cases, cases seem to be going up. Looks like there may be some lockdowns in California. So we'll follow up on that. And that is it for in terms of overall what's happening in the market. So let's go on to the charts now. As usual, we'll start off with euro dollar here. Euro, we were expecting a move higher today. We got that. And it's still looking bullish here. But if we look back here, we are starting to get into this important support and resistance levels here. So we have to be mindful. Now, in terms of our targets here, bias is still bullish. 1.22 is the first target here, and then 1.2235. So bullish bias. Just keep in mind the momentum, the move seems to be losing momentum a bit. So that's something to be careful with. But overall, I am expecting a move higher. There's still bullishness in this. So bias is bullish, either towards 122 or 122.35. So bullish bias for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one has also gone up, and mainly is because the US dollar here not doing that great. So with this one, bias is bullish. It is into important resistance level, and we have to be careful here. As we can see, price is into this level that it turned around at previously. But right now, we do have more of a upward move here. So it's still trending upwards. At this point, I will look for a further move to the upside in terms of the targets. The first target will be the top of this candle or the pin here, which is 1.3510, and then above that we're looking at 1.3570. So bias is bullish. Just be careful. If it doesn't go through here, we may just see a retest. And if it doesn't go through, we could still see that drop. So bullish bias with caution though. Aussie dollar here, this one's still looking bullish. It held above the support resistance level, and it has been holding since then. Right now, still looking bullish. I will look for a move towards 0.7500. Bullish bias here. New Zealand dollar, though, this one seems to be faltering a bit. For the last couple of days, it hasn't really made much of a progress, which means we may see a turnaround here. So right now, neutral to slightly bearish bias here. Target is 0.700 is the first target. Second target, 0.6950. So neutral bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one is still looking bearish. Now keep in mind, we do have news from both the countries, the employment data. So expect additional volatility in dollar CAD for tomorrow. But in terms of the technicals here, this one is still looking bearish. It held below that support resistance level that we were watching, and I will look for a further move to the downside here. In terms of the target, we are looking at 0.2800 and then 0.2770. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. Let's take a look at our commodities here, starting off with silver. 2 days in a row, price wasn't able to break the resistance, which means we are likely to see a drop here. 23.20 is the first target, and then we have 22.60 is the second target. So neutral to bearish bias here for silver. Gold here, gold went up as we had expected. It's coming closer to our resistance level here. So at this point, bias is neutral to neutral here. We may see a move towards 1850, but then if it fails there, we are likely to see a drop back down. So bias here is neutral for gold. Oil here, oil still range bound at the moment for the last several days here. It's been sideways. And at this point, I would look for a move towards the top of the range and then potentially back into the range again. So neutral to bullish bias here for oil. Target is 46.40. Copper here, copper seems to be struggling here. It wasn't able to break through the resistance. We have a bearish candle close here, so I would look for a drop back down towards the bottom of this range that it has been trading in this week. So bearish bias 3.39 is the target. Bitcoin here, still stuck in a sideways move. It hasn't quite made it through the resistance. So neutral bias here, we may see a move towards the high of 19,800. But if it fails there, or if it fails at today's high, we're looking for a move back towards 18,000. So neutral bias for Bitcoin as well. S&P 500, this is looking neutral as well. As we can see, price hasn't really done anything. It hasn't been able to break through the resistance for the last 3 days here, which means we could get a drop. So neutral bias here, if it fails to go through today's high, we are essentially looking for a move back down here. So this is neutral. We may get something like this. So neutral bias, looking for a move back towards the first target here would be 3640 and then 3620. NASDAQ as well, it's holding the highs here, but it hasn't really made much progress. So it doesn't seem to have much momentum, not much of a move today at all. So in this case, if it fails to break the high of today, I'd be looking for a move back towards 12,290, 12,290 level here. So neutral bias for NASDAQ. And then Dow Jones here, this one is also looking neutral. We are seeing price stuck in a range here for the last couple of weeks here. Price hasn't really been able to break through. So we may get a retest of the high at 30,145 and then a potential move back towards the middle or the bottom of this range here. So neutral bias here for Dow Jones as well. DAX looking bearish here. We got that bearish move we were expecting towards 13,200. Now it may come back into 13,000 here. So bearish bias for DAX. FTSE here still looking bullish. It's right into this resistance. So this is where we have to be careful because price had turned around here last time. And this is back into the levels where it was prior to COVID here, or after it recovered from COVID. This is where it went back to. So at this point, it is bullish with caution though, because if it fails here, we are looking for that move back down. So it's a strong resistance level and it could drop from here. So be cautious. Once it goes through though, 6,600 would be the next target. So bullish bias with caution though. If it fails, if it holds below 6,500, we are looking for a move back down then. So neutral bias for FTSE. And Nikkei here for last 3, 4, 5 days here, price hasn't really done a whole lot. It's just gone back and forth. The last 2 days, not much of a movement at all, which means it may be at a turning point and we may see a drop here. target is, so the first target here will be 26,570 and then 26,200. So neutral to bearish bias here for Nikkei. So that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again on Sunday with the weekly analysis. Bye for now.